welcome. How we doing? Welcome if you're coming over from Mikey's recommendation, Credence and Bishop Show, my inspiration, one of the inspirations for me starting this channel. And of course, you guys are my ongoing inspiration. I love you guys. You're the best. You're the reason why I go live, even when I'm tired, even when I'm dragging butt. It is great. So, without further ado, let's start something we're going to be doing on a Sunday, is the comment of the week. This one comes from Todd Murphy. I will check back with you and hope you learn how to present videos properly. You have too many technology cliches. I think he meant glitches. You are in the background previewing the next clip and we can hear it. Shocking. It interrupts what we, the audience, are watching and trying to listen to. Plus, we do really need the chipmunk video voice. What? Yeah, that was from somebody else's video that I said he sped it up. Whatever. I don't even care. It's just great. Plus, do we really need the chipmunk video? All at that speed, one missed word in court makes a big difference when testimony is being given. Learn the technology on your own time. And what the fuck was the repeated section in the last video? WTF. Well, Todd, I do suck at technology. I constantly claim that I suck at technology. I'm learning on the job. Thank you for the feedback. I understand that I suck at times. But did you really have to make a paragraph, Todd? And if you're gonna make fun of me, just say, Phil, you suck. That's it. I've had many people tell me, Phil, you suck. My daughter tells me I suck every single day. Don't need it. So, I kindly replied, I have a great idea, just don't watch at all and learn to be supportive instead of a negative person with zero content. I love it. We went back and forth for a little while. All right. Thank you, Todd. All right. Let's get to it. That was an awesome TPO from Mikey, the wrestling fan. I love it. He is a legend. I love him. I'm really getting to know him lately. Big things coming down the pipe with LawTube and Credence and Bishop. We're going to be a part of it. Okay. Judge Kim.
Thank you.
Promising. Thank you, Mama Tried. Judge Kim, I've been promising the Little Rodney saga. You people who are LawTube nerds and been on it for a long time probably know what's been going on. Let me just bring it up real quick, and I can't stand looking at the negative comment anymore. Can't do it anymore. All right, here we go. So let's do it to it. We're gonna hop on real quick. Let me go to let's just get the Little Rodney saga brought up first. And I'm just going to give you a little heads up on what it's all about, and then I'm going to play the first clip. I'm going to give you a little background on it. So, this comes from Easy TV. All right, so what...
Like, how old are you?
Okay, so the Little Rodney saga, basically what it was is... This is a 12-year-old. At the time, he was an 11-year-old rapper. Okay? Aspiring rapper.
Now shit, bro, like...
And he was on probation for, at the time, he was on probation for arson. Lighting his friends on fire. Literally, there's video of lighting his friends on fire. So he's constantly in Judge Kim's court. So, his name is, in the street, 30 Shots, or Little Baby Savage. Just a lot of stuff going on. He's a rapper. What happens is he shoots, while he's on probation for arson, he shoots a baby, a 1-year-old baby. The baby survives. He didn't go and shoot the baby on purpose. He shot the baby. They were playing with the gun. Why he had a gun, I have no idea. So then he got obviously indicted for those charges as a juvenile. He was 12 years old. So there's constant Judge Kim cases going on that I'm going to show for you. Mom's a no-show, then mom shows up finally, constant fighting. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let these play. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what we are watching here with little Rodney. All right,
Thank
and
you.
then we're gonna get it going. Okay, so I'll just give you a little preview of what little Rodney's all about.
When you gonna drop a visual? Like, we want some visuals coming from you.
Like, really, it be like the cameramans, that really bullshit, for real. That really be this, you know?
Yeah. You think like they kind of scared to like get you on camera with the guns and shit?
It's really like, nah, it's just like, nigga, really, sometimes I don't be having time. Like, I got this one top video, he supposed to shoot my shit, but like, I don't even know, like, really. But I'm trying to, I'm gonna link up with Perfect God in a little bit, though. I'm just chill right now. Like, I've been trying to shoot a video.
For sure.
So he's shooting videos.
For sure.
All right?
For sure.
And there's this little boy, Young Ape. Okay, look at this power couple. Our future is bright. All right. So now we're gonna cut to a Judge Kim. What happens is that the Judge Kim videos are, there's a bunch of them. So we're gonna go to one, and we'll go one after another. This is okay. So we're gonna cut to Judge Kim's parts where he's going to talk to my man Little Rodney. So his real name, I'll show you for you right here.
Finally, you have a right to an attorney. Ms. Barrows, your attorney, is here.
Okay, so there's Little Rodney up in the corner. Then you have Grandpa, top right. Mom has been no-show all the time. Judge Kim badmouths her all the time. Little Rodney sticks up for her. This clip is gold. Not a lot of people know about this one. Okay? Let's rock and roll. Judge Kim, you are my hero.
All right, so furthermore, court proceedings are normally closed to the public when children are under 14 years old. The court will make an affirmative finding that the interests of the child or the interests of the public are better served by opening this proceeding to the public. All right, so Mr. Moore, you are 12 years old. You're on probation for arson. And while you're on probation, you had problems that we had to issue warrants for you in February of 2020, March of 2020, June of 2020, June 5th, June 13th of 2020, June 25th of 2020, and August 14th of 2020. And it took a month to find you because you cut off your EM and you ran away. You're also looking at a new charge for felony injury to a child. And when we brought you in, you're positive for weed. This is while you were on probation for arson. And you have a court date coming up on November 17th. You're a level 1 outstanding, but have only been since Friday. So, Mr. Spence, what happened to his behavior level? Why did it drop down?
Your Honor, he has, as far as the 22nd, it doesn't say, it just says it was dropped to acceptable. On the 19th, it's arguing with a peer, repeatedly talking without permission.
Okay. So he's getting better, but he's still not doing what he's supposed to do. Also, oh wait, so is Mom here, Ms. Hawthorne?
Sir?
Your Honor, I believe it's Miss Crosby.
Oh, Ms. Crosby. Where's Ms. Crosby? I'm sorry, Ms. Hawthorne, you're for Lewis Parker. Is the mom here?
She was earlier. Yes, she's here, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Crosby, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you can do me a favor, you can raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently at trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can lower your hand. So I've sworn you in as a witness now, all right, for this matter. There are issues because you are the actual parent. I know Grandpa's here, but you are the actual parent of the child. So there's court proceedings that require the parent to be involved, okay? So I want to make sure that you understand that you're involved in this process. Okay, Mom, are you not able to make it up to the courthouse?
No, because the job I have, like, I really can't come, so.
Okay,
And me
so
and my equal custody. Like he's a big, you know, matter in my son's life. He's basically like his father. So
yeah, but he's not the
he's
actual parent though.
yeah, I know, but the bond and love we all have for each other wouldn't
Oh,
make
no,
it
no,
enough.
absolutely, and that is a factor when it comes to where we release the child and who cares for the child. I understand that, but the Texas Family Code doesn't say like a father. It actually says the parent, right? So,
Of course,
yeah.
yes, sir.
So I'm limited that I actually have to have parents here if parents are on. Now, let's say you were, I don't know.
Okay, and mom had Rodney at 16 years old. I'll give you a little background. Had Rodney at 16 years old. Grandpa is the real hero in this story. He did 8-year stint in prison. He came out, reformed his life, does everything he possibly could for Rodney. You're going to see this. Judge Kim throws that at mom, and we're gonna go to other court cases, other hearings with Rodney, and you're going to see how mom is never there. So this is the only video at mom's appearance that I could find, and Judge Kim gives it to her. Just listen.
Living in Canada or out of state even, or in TDC or something, and you couldn't be here, that'd be different. But since you are here, then it's necessary for you to be here. Okay. So we'll figure that one out in the future. But these courts, before we finish off this case, right, you're going to have to be at the court proceeding, just to let you know. Otherwise, like, we can't finish off this case.
We can make plans for that for the future. I have no problem with that.
Okay, good. All right, just letting you know. All right, so Rodney, let me go over this. I still got this on my bench. I still remember this. All right. And this is even before like you and I ever met. You just decided to take this picture of me and make a meme of me, even though you and I never had words together. You never had a detention hearing. And then later on, it turns out that I'm worried about you being around guns. And this picture popped up, kind of I guess we call it self-snitching on Instagram. And so
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just worried about your safety in the public. And then, believe it or not, then this picture, I just got this one this week. So, there's more indication of you out there with guns on the street. I'm just very concerned about you in the public. And so,
He took a picture of Judge Kim in court, and he put on Snapchat it said "F you, Judge Kim" while he was in court, and blasted it out to all of his social media accounts. So Judge, that's what if you check my thumbnail, you'll see that.
we've got an issue here. You're actually looking at a gun case for a shooting, and now I see these pictures keep on popping up with you and guns. Yes, sir.
But look, I have wrote something for you. I know the last time you seen me, I was a 1A, but I had to change it because I told you I got to show you if I get out. I know y'all are not playing with me, and I did this for my family and most important me. I know if I come back, I'm getting shipped off. Most importantly, things I need to do is follow rules, go to school, stop acting like I'm grown and not running away. I do not have to do anything back because I have everything I need. I know my mama and papa love me, and I'm the oldest, so I have to start being an example for my sister and brothers. I'm not going to argue with my papa and my mama. I'm going to listen to them. When I go to school, I'm going to go to every class, do my work. I will take TCAP, YMCA, counseling, everything I need. I will act my age like I'm supposed to and stay away from guns, do my chores, work at home, and I will send you a copy of my report card every 6 weeks.
So here's part of my problem. Your mom's not even coming to court for you. I mean, she showed up on Zoom, but this is, I think, the second time she showed up on Zoom of all the hearings that we had. Right? Your grandpa's here all the time, but it's just hard for me to release you if your mom's not even willing to come to court for you. Right? I'm also worried about all these guns that you have have access to, because so far this is 3 different firearms I've seen you holding and putting pictures on Instagram. So I have no idea how much access to firearms that you have in the community, and I have to feel confident about releasing you. What makes it worse is that you're not a level 1O this whole time, that you're still causing problems to drop down to level 1A. Yes, sir.
Look, this is the guns. I don't do that at home. I know I get in trouble if I do it at home. That's outside of the house, basically. And I'm willing to do whatever I have to do. I'm not trying to go get shit nowhere. I need to do actually what I need to do.
Well, why aren't you doing that then?
I'm trying to show you.
But if you're not listening to staff and you're getting arguments with peers in detention, is that doing what you're supposed to do?
No, but I haven't never dropped my level. Look,
Yeah,
2
but
5 days.
you dropped down though.
This Saturday.
You dropped down though.
Yeah. Can I speak?
Yes.
I know the image like that my son has put on for you guys, and I know like the image you guys probably have of me, but I don't think sometimes you should judge a book by its cover. Me, and I have not been there. It's for my own like reasons. It's not like I'm not there, but I'm there. The times I've
No,
come.
hold on. Let's just clarify. Sorry to interrupt. When you say I'm not there, but I'm there, no, you're not here. Okay, I just want to clarify. You are actually not here. Grandpa's here, but you are not here.
Not in the flesh, but I'm saying I'm the loving my dad, and like I'm there. It's just not like I'm.
No. Hold on. You're not here, right? Don't say that you're here because you're not here. I mean, the rest of it, I'm listening to you, but I'm gonna call you out when you say that you're here. You are not here, ma'am. Okay, so please continue.
Physically, yes, sir. But what I'm saying is the last time when I came, I had some illegal issues of my own, and when I came, I got arrested and I went to jail. You see what I'm saying? And now I have a job, like, and sometimes I can't get off during the times that y'all have court, like, or I'll lose my job, and that's how I like support
So
me and my.
where's your job? Where do you work?
I work at a call center,
In what city? What company do you work for?
Hearst, and it's
What?
Nail Tech Call Center.
Okay.
And
So-
blah blah blah. Basically, like, that's my reason I couldn't be there. Last time I had legal issues, that's why I wasn't there prior. And now sometimes my job, when you guys have court, I can't be there. And like I was saying, if I might proceed, my son, I know this image that he's put on for you guys for the internet that I didn't even was
This
aware.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you say don't judge a book by the cover, like,
That you
How
doing it. Yes, court. Yes, sir. I'm aware.
okay, so I'm curious when you say don't judge a book by the cover, this isn't really judging a book by the cover, right? Like, he posed for this picture.
But look,
Yeah. And let me talk, son. Let me
Yes,
talk.
yes,
And I know my son. I know anytime when he did that, he ran away and, had trouble, did what he did. But my son is not that kid. I think he put on for the people that he was around and wanted to seem cool to fit in. And he did that stuff, and he did it to think that it made him cool. But I know my son. My son is not disrespectful at home. My son is not that kid. My son loves me. I've been there always for my son and taught
Hold
him.
on. I'm calling you out again. You say you've been there always. You're not coming to court. You can't say you've been there always, right?
But my father is there. It's
No,
my
no.
own reason that I
You
could
can't
not.
say that you've been here always, right?
I
I'm
am.
just keeping it real with you.
It's been real to me. I feel that I have, just because I wasn't there in the flesh for my own reasons. That's mean that I don't
Period.
talk.
No, hold on. You haven't been here in the flesh, period. There's no but. Like, you haven't been here. Like, you
But
hung them out to dry.
If we can have that. That's just how I feel. And I'm still there. Like, I'm still there. My dad, that's me. I'm him. I'm there. We're there.
Hold on. What's that saying? You're entitled to your own opinion. You are not
Yes.
entitled to your own facts. You have not been here.
Out there physically, like I said, I mean, I don't want to argue. You're right, and you're gonna feel how you feel about it. But what I'm saying, sir, I'm there. Like, and I love my son.
You are not here. This is what you don't seem to understand, is when you say I'm there, that means you are here. You are not here.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
You may want to be here. You may wish you could be here. You may try to be here, but either it's like being pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. Either you're here or you're not here. Okay. You are not here. Now, that being said, you understand when you're called in for these cases, your employer cannot fire you for showing up to court. Okay. Your record is compulsory. If they do fire you, then I can actually fine the business, your employer, or I can actually put your manager in jail for violating the court order. Like, you have an excuse for being here. Okay. So,
Yeah.
yes, Rodney.
My mom, like, she does everything she need for me. She do everything.
Except show up.
My son knows. And like I said, and I can be a woman and I can be a mother. I have my own legal issues why I can't come.
Judge Kim has no sympathy at this point for Rodney because he turns on the tears and then he goes and cuts his electronic monitoring system. He plays with guns. He smokes weed. He's on music videos. He does everything contradictory to what he cries he's not going to do. So Judge Kim has had it up to here with this kid. I work with kids. I've worked with kids for almost 20 years. There are just some kids that will always be rotten. And it's because of mom. The first 7 years of a child's life, you map out your brain and connect your syntax, and all that stuff goes on the first 7 years. God knows what that kid saw the first 7 years. So when I say the kid is rotten, it's not him. You cannot blame him. It is mom's fault.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, your son has legal issues too. Your son has really big legal issues right now.
He is. I know everything. It might not seem like I'm there or I'm green to anything. I know everything that's going on with my son. I'm very active in my son's life. I love my son. Like, I've always took care of him and told him right from wrong. Those choices he made when he ran away.
Hold on a second. Grandpa, how long has Rodney been living with you?
Since about 2010.
Okay, so for about 10 years of a 12-year-old's life, and you tell me you've always been there for him, taking care of him.
I lived with my father as well for a long period of time. So we all raised him together. We all was a family together, and I helped my dad as well. Family, yeah. So my dad is like his father. We all stayed together. Like, recently, we have not been staying together because I've ventured off and, doing a little better and trying to put things together. But not recently, not just too long, got out of jail this year. Like I said, I've had my own issues, but that don't make me a bad mother. You know what I mean?
So dumping your son on your dad makes you a bad mother.
How did I dump him on him?
Mom,
That's on opinion. Is we here for my son or we here for me? Because obviously you have your own opinion about me formed already. I've never met you. And I don't think that that's fair. I don't think things are being handled fairly.
I have no opinion of you except for the fact that you stop lying.
Tell that you do. Yes, sir.
Because you know what? One of the things that just torques me is when people lie to me. And you keep on saying that I've been there and you're not here.
It's your opinion, maybe not to you because I'm not there.
See, that is the thing. It is not an opinion. It's a fact. You have yet to show up in the courthouse. You have yet to visit your son. You have yet to be here for anything. You are not here. Do not lie.
No communication. I send my son letters and cards every day. He calls me every day. I talk to him every day when he's free. I talk to him and see him every day. What do you mean? Your own opinion. You don't know what goes on in our life, sir. That's not fair. And I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that you guys are handling my son fair just because I'm not there. But he has a guardian right there that's there stepping up for him. Just because you don't see me don't mean that I'm not there and I don't love him. And that's not fair.
And here's the problem is between the two of us, in his legal case, there's really only one opinion that really matters.
And trust me, if nobody knows that, this woman right here knows it. Trust me.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
my mom is the one trying to give me a lawyer, spend money on me all the time for everything I need.
Okay, I don't understand you.
It doesn't matter what he says.
Please be quiet. Mr. Moore, what'd you say? I didn't understand what you're saying.
My mom spends everything. She tries to do everything for me. She break her back for me, everything.
I know, son. We know. And it's
Ma'am,
possible.
again, you need to be quiet. It's not your turn to talk. This is not a conversation between you and Rodney.
And Papa,
Wait your turn.
See, this is what, Ronnie, here's the problem. All this conflict that we've had, all the times that you just don't listen, you just wait for your turn to talk, the disrespect you've shown me, your attitude that you've had to me, the attitude toward your probation officer, Mr. Spence, the fact that you run away, do your own thing, that you're not going to show up and fulfill your obligation to the court like you're supposed to. I see all that you're learning from your mom, right? She's setting that example for you that's getting you this problem. If you followed the example from your grandpa, we would not be having issues. He's always here. He's respectful. He treats me with respect. He doesn't lie to me. He doesn't keep on lying to me and double down on it. He doesn't interrupt me. He's the guy that you need to be listening to and following and looking for example, not your mom. Your mom is doing everything wrong that put you in this situation. Right? Even when she's telling me that everything, all this stuff on Instagram with these pictures, right? That's not really you. But you have a gun shooting case that you're in, and you're telling me that you're not in the house with guns. Obviously, you have access to guns, and obviously, there's an issue with you discharging firearms. Yes, Mr. Moore.
but she wasn't there when I had all them guns. I can't even be around guns. When I have BB gun, she gonna take it. Even if it's a BB gun, she gonna take it. Everything she take on.
So, Mr. Moore, she's the one telling me that she's always been there for you. She's always watched out for you. She's always cared for you. She always took care of you. She's always set you right. And now you're telling me when she's there, you behave, but you do all this stuff on the side when she's not around, which makes me think she's not always there supervising you like she says she is.
My son runs away. Do you not have
Ma'am, this is not your turn to talk.
Mama, just listen. Just stop, Mama.
Listen to your son. He's actually, you know what? This is the crazy thing. This 12-year-old boy has a better head on his shoulders, and more respect, and more courtesy than you do, ma'am. That is mind-blowing to me.
Mom,
That's
don't I get it. I was just, can you please give me one more chance? I'm trying to show you. Like everything I can do it. My mama, she cry every night because I'm here. She don't like me here.
Yeah,
I don't like you here either, believe it or not, Mr. Moore. Here's the problem though, right? Is I see a side of you, and this is crazy. I see a side of you that you're learning from your grandpa. You're learning respect, that there's a rational, reasonable side of you that you get from grandpa. And that's what you need to copy, not her. What I don't understand is how he's the person who raised your mom, and your mom is so disrespectful to everyone else in the world. Yes, Mr. Moore.
But yes, at the same time, my papa had his issues too. My papa did 8 years.
Hey,
It took him some time. Papa, let me talk. It took him some time.
have to talk. Don't more,
Ma'am,
buddy.
again,
More.
ma'am, you need to stay quiet.
Mama, just stay quiet. Just listen. Mama, you on mute. Just stay quiet. Okay. Look, I get what you're saying. Yes, my papa is basically my father figure because I don't have a father. I have one, but at the same time, I don't have a father. And look, I do get respect for my papa. My papa taught me how to shake people's hand with respect. Look to my all that. Yeah, I get what you're saying too.
See, your papa is a classic example of somebody who did wrong, learned his lesson, and moved forward in life and did something better.
Yes, that's what
That he has earned my respect because he comes in respectful. He doesn't hide from his past. He doesn't minimize what he's done. He owns it. And he's never shied away from it. He's been very forthcoming about it. And you know what? You can tell that he holds his head high because he's a different person than he was back then. What I don't see in you, Mr. Moore, is that you're going through that process, that you still want to push the edges. So here's the thing. I know you're level 1.0 now, but you just got to level 1.0. You dropped down, right? If I'm to let you go, and here's your papa did not sign up for this. You're not his son. He, as a matter of love, has opened up his home and his heart to you and is providing for you, but he doesn't have to. That's actually your parents' job, and they've failed in doing that. So I have to be extra cautious in releasing you because Papa just doesn't have the time or the energy or the responsibility to go chase around looking for you on the streets. And you
I
cause
promise
people.
I won't be back on those streets. I promise, Judge Kim. I swear, I promise I won't be back on those streets.
Mhm.
Listen to my Papa, do everything he tell me. Papa, I was doing fine.
Well, no, ho. Don't ask him to lie for you because you cut off your EM and ran for a month. You
He
weren't
not-
doing fine.
Before I even ran, Papa, what I was doing fine, right?
You had your moments where you did good. You
But
did
you
really great. Yes. Excuse
Cut
me.
off your EM, you ran, you're smoking weed, you're on Instagram with pictures of guns with other people on probation or have pending cases. You weren't doing fine.
Mr. Kim, look, with Judge Kim, before that, I was doing fine, and I'm trying to stay doing fine. I'm not worrying about the negative stuff. I'm worrying about the positive stuff. I put the negative stuff in the trash. Put that in the trash. I'm worried about the positive stuff. If I go home, I'm worrying about the positive stuff. I'm not worrying about no negative stuff. I'm not worrying about no guns. I'm not worrying about no weed. I'm not worrying about cutting no EM. I'm not worrying about running away. I'm worrying about doing me, what I know I can do. And
I
what
understand.
my family
And
know I can
you've
do.
got to prove that to me by holding your 1-0. But you're bouncing back and forth between 1-0 and 1 acceptable. And that's not good enough for me. Not for a kid who's on probation, cutting off his EM, running away for a month, posting with pictures on Instagram, while you pick up a case where it involves a shooting, smoking weed, hang out with other kids that are on probation, hang out with other kids that have cases. See, if those other kids, I'd be like, you know what, 1-0 down to 1A, you bounce back up, I'm okay with that. You have proven to me in your past what you're capable of. So you have to prove to me here in the present that I don't have to worry about your past. Yes, sir.
So how long do I have to hold my 1-0? I'm not
going to set that number for you. All right. Because you've got to convince me. It's not on me, right? You're making an offer to me. I want you to show up at this detention hearing and say, Judge, I have done nothing wrong since the last time you've seen me. Right? That's how you start the conversation. I'm not setting that target for you because the target I set for you was go get on your probation for your arson case and don't cause problems. And when you cause problems, I came back and said, go out and I'm going to put you on EM. And you caused problems. And you cut off your EM and you had multiple EM violations over and over. You're smoking weed. You're putting pictures with you and guns on Instagram. Right? All this comes back on you. I don't know why you thought that if you put something on the internet that the court would never see it. The law always sees it. Yes, sir.
and that gun that the gun.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to interrupt you there because I'm sure your attorney, Ms. Barrows, does not want you talking about a gun. Ms. Barrows, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. She does not want you talking about a gun right now. She doesn't want you to put yourself in a spot. That's why. So I'll talk to you stuff about detention, but anything new that you can.
I'm just talking about the page you got it off of. This is a fan page. That's a fan page.
So they photoshopped your picture? Is that what you're saying? This
They
isn't really.
screenshotted it, and not that picture.
Oh, the other picture. They photoshopped this picture?
Fake gang underscore FP. That's a fan page or fake page. That's what that means.
This isn't a real picture.
That's
He's a
real
legend.
picture,
Judge
but
Kim
it's
is
a
a
fake
legend.
page.
Okay. Well, the picture's still the picture, right? Like
Yes,
somebody
sir.
had to post where somebody took the picture. So, Mr. Moore? All right. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and we will go ahead. I'm going to detain you and we'll figure out. Let me see at the next detention hearing how you're doing. Prove to me. Give me a reason to smile. Give me a reason to say I don't have to worry. See, here's the thing: is what you're trying to do is you're trying to do a little bit and talk your way and convince me for the rest of it. Don't do that. Let your actions speak. Let that be your record. Show me like your grandpa. His actions speak to me. He doesn't have to open his mouth. I already know he's a righteous man, right? I want your actions to show and prove me so you don't even have to explain anything. Okay? All right. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
All right, Mama, I love you. You don't
All right,
know
Munoz.
I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
So sad. It's so sad that we have to him just loving and showing his mom all attention constantly. It must infuriate Judge Kim because she does zero for this poor kid. And Grandpa just sits there like a beaten down dog. He does everything for this kid, and this kid does nothing to show affection to Grandpa. And Grandpa is is a wonderful man. He made his mistakes. All he does is go and take care of this kid. So we're going to go to another case now. I know this is a throwback. People have seen this before, but it's a golden case. I've seen Lucy. Miss Rose is in the building. She said, I'm gonna show you some videos on this. Once we get through the court cases, I'm gonna show you a couple videos of the little Rodney and the actual timeline and the story, because to me it's fascinating. We got 240 in the room. Just make sure you hit that like button. And I know K-Far is in here. I know Mikey was first. I'm in the middle, and then I'm going to be on live with K-Far after this, doing some SovSit stuff. He's going to teach me the ropes of SovSit, because we all know how fun the SovSits are. So I'm going to be live after this on K-Far's Live. All right, so let's go. Let's roll to something else. We're going to go to Judge Kim again, and we're going to go to Little Rodney. This is the one, I think this is the one where he's snitching and he's crying, and it's just another classic. So let's roll.
Thank you, sir.
Stopping things for you. This isn't about you. This is the hearing to decide whether to keep you or not.
Yes, sir.
You do have a right to remain silent. Give up that right. Anything you say at a detention hearing cannot be used against you at any other type of court setting. All right, so Rodney, you and I are familiar with each other. You are 11 years old. Wait a minute. Yesterday was your birthday.
Yes, sir.
Now you're 12 years old. All right. So, well, happy birthday. I'm sorry you had to spend it here at a detention facility. And let's see. Mr. Spence, you're here, right? Okay. So, just to let you know. You know, I don't put this down, right? Mr. Moore?
It is.
Yes, sir.
You remember this one? You taking
There's
this
the
picture?
picture I was telling
Yes,
you about.
sir.
There's
Okay,
the
I
pic.
keep it here on my bench. Just a reminder. You know, once you put something on the internet, it doesn't come down. And then, all right, so you're on probation for arson. And that is from 2019. And then we've had all kinds of problems. Most recently, I let you go. You come in and out. I've always let you go because you're so young. I mean, you're 11 years old, right? So I didn't want to keep an 11-year-old in here. But every time I let you out, you just cut off your electronic monitor, you come back. Yes, sir?
This time I cut it
Thank you,
because
Marina.
I
Thanks
was
for
on
the
the
gifted
phone.
memberships,
Please
everybody.
This
don't
is not
say
something
anything,
that you
okay?
want to talk about
Don't
right
say
now.
that right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
So, all right. So you keep on running away. We keep on getting you back in here, make you stay a couple days. You promised me you're not going to cut it off. I think you cried a couple times about coming back here. And then this last time we let you out.
This hearing happened before. Yeah, this one. We're not doing the actual timeline. I'm going to show you a video of the timeline after this. The reason why I wanted to show you that one first was because that was the one with the mother. Because we mentioned mom in all of the court cases and all of his hearings. Mom's coming up. So that I showed that one because that gives you a real feel of what mom is all about.
Mr. Spence, when was the last time we let him out?
Your Honor, he cut his monitor on 8/14 of this year and ran.
Okay, so about 6 weeks ago, cut off his monitor and ran. Even though you promised me you wouldn't. All right. So now there is evidently a new charge that was filed relating back to April. And that's the one where you shot the 1-year-old? Mr. Spence?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Like a 1-year-old baby.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so he's on probation for arson. He's accused of shooting a baby at 11 years old. And then we bring him back in. He's been on the run, and he's smoking weed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else I'm missing about him?
Nope, that's about it, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Moore. Hey, look what I found. Right? I know 11-year-olds are supposed to have guns. Right? After they've been accused of shooting a baby. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Moore, what should I do at this point? Like, where am I at?
This time I wasn't gonna cut, but like,
Don't say that, okay? Not right now. You're gonna want to talk to your attorney first.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I don't know, but I was trying to see, could you at least give me one more chance and then see if this time I mess up, you should like hold me for some months.
Yeah, but didn't you say that last time? You told me you hold you for a year last time if I mess up, didn't you?
I never said that. I don't remember.
What? Yeah, you told me that I can hold you next time. Give me one more chance. Actually, you said that two times. So, and remember, the last time I said, well, that's what you said last time. Why should I believe you this time?
All I was trying to do was go to my friend's funeral.
Don't
And
mind,
I
this is
asked
from the Real
Mr.
Tune
Spence,
TV where I got the case
and
from,
he
guys.
said no. And then I
The only
missed
good recording I can file.
JV and stuff because I was in here. And every time I miss one of my friends. So I tried to go to the funeral and Mike didn't let me go because I didn't know my friend's last name. And then I just had to because I didn't want to more
Rodney,
offense.
I think Judge understands your point at this point, okay?
No,
but
so they want guns at the funeral? Is that where you're trying to go?
No, that was a long time after the funeral.
Fun fact also, he could not come up with a name of the person whose funeral he went to. That's why Judge Kim has no remorse for this, because on another occasion he asked repeatedly what friend passed away and he could not provide a name.
Right?
Your Honor.
So you went to a funeral for a friend, but you don't know the friend's last name?
No, because we all go by our nicknames and everybody noticed. And then he said I couldn't go because I didn't know the last name. And that hurt. I missed so many events.
And your nickname is 30 Shots, right?
Yes, sir. I'm not going to lie. Yes, sir.
Well, you're not going to lie. You've lied to me before.
I'm just telling all the truth. It ain't nothing to lie. You know everything.
Ronnie, here's the problem. It's like, if you lie to me so many times, how do I know when you're lying? And how do I know when you're telling the truth?
Because I'm tell all the truth. Now, I'm not going to lie. I promise to God right here to the man, I'm not going to lie to you. Anything you ask me, I'm going to tell you.
But remember when you raise your hand, promise to God that you're not going to cut off your monitor?
I tried to go to my homeboy funeral, and that's it. That was it. That's all I asked for time out for. I was never gonna cut it. I would have.
hey, Rodney, okay,
Ronnie,
okay.
you told me you're not going to lie.
I'm not.
Ronnie, I'm really tired of you lying to me. I just said, I'm tired of, like, every time you come in here, you cry. You know that, right? Like, every single time you come in here, you cried. And every single time you've begged me for one more chance because you swear to God on my mama's name, I'm not going to cut off the monitor. I'm not going to run off. Like, every single time.
I did my
This,
two.
right?
Yes, and then, but look, I'm not even lying. Only God knows, my papa knows, and Mr. Spence knows why I cut off that EM.
Yeah, what I can't figure out is why you're always lying to me, and every time you tell me that you're not going to lie. Grandpa, you remember those conversations, right?
Quite well, sir. Yes, sir.
Every single time he promised me, I swear to God. You know, God's got to be angry with you swearing to him so many times.
But Papa, why did I cut it? Why did
No,
I?
it's not about you cutting. I'm talking about why you're lying to me. That's what I'm talking about right now. Right? Like every time
Yes,
you
sir.
think, I mean, here's the thing, right? The first time you came in here and you cried, like you were bawling, right? And you were crying, and I felt sorry for you because you're just this little kid that I thought was crying. And then now I'm realizing you just cry every single time. I don't think they're fake tears. I think you're really crying. but you cry every time. It's because you're a kid. You're 11 years old. I'm sorry. Now you're 12 years old, right? And so, and that's my problem is I don't like little 11 and 12-year-olds here because you're just immature. I mean, you're a baby. And so now, but the thing is, Rodney, if you want to be treated like an adult, you do adult things, and then you're asking me to treat you like an adult. So I don't know why you cry so much. Right? I mean, you going around pointing guns, and now you're accused of shooting a little kid. And then I know what's going on. I know what's going on over at Parks Mall. I know what's going on out on the street. Like, I know all this, right?
Yes, sir.
I understand you're just causing problems everywhere you go. But here's the thing, Rodney, right? I'm not going to let you go because I know you're going to go out there. You can handle more guns. Maybe somebody else gets shot, right? I know you can go out there. You're going to make more videos about Judge Kim, right? Because I've seen those
I
too.
made another video about you. That was the only video.
Right? So, you know, this is one of those things. I know you're going to go out and you're going to do your thing and cause more problems. So here's the thing. You're not as tough as you think you are. All right? You're not as tough as you're trying to make yourself out to be. Right? You're not. I mean, you're just causing problems and you're making people pick sides. And the thing is, everyone that's picking a side is losing. They're all losing because they're, you know what? They're picking a side over you, a kid that's just trying to milk the system, right? You're just using everyone else around you, including your grandpa, including Mr. Spence, including me.
I don't use them. I don't got nothing.
You don't think you use your grandpa?
I don't use my bubble.
Grandpa, how many times have you been evicted because of him?
About
How many times,
3-4 times.
right? He's
I'm
been,
not using
Evicted
him.
because of him.
I
He's
love
all
you,
this to
son.
provide.
I love you.
you don't listen to him, you don't follow his rules, right? And so he loves you.
Papa, so before I even cut that money, I was doing everything you asked me, right? Everything.
Yes, but you did cut the monitor because you wanted to go to the funeral. Agreed, but that's all over with. We're here at this point now. We got to deal with what you got to deal with. And you keep
Right.
blaming Judge Kim, and that's why we are where we are now.
Your papa was a wise man. You know, he's here every single time you have a detention hearing. Every single time, right? Because he loves you and cares about you. But you're out there thinking that there's something better than the home that he's providing, right? Show him some gratitude. So anyways, you know, before I used to make a deal saying you get to level 1-0 and I'll let you out on the monitor again. At this point, I'm detaining you and I'm just going to figure out, we'll see how you do. I'm not going to leave it open-ended. You may stay here till you're 19 years old. I haven't decided yet. All right. So we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. But either way, if you don't behave here, then I know you're not going to behave outside. What you may should do is get to your behavior level up. I'll release you. And then you go out and you just break the rules again. So, you know, you can only lie to somebody so many times before they stop trusting you. You'll find that with your friends too.
When I see you again?
Oh, you'll see me every 5 days. I do this when you're 11 years old. I want to see you every 5 days just to make sure that we stay in communication with each other.
So I see you Monday.
Yeah, it'll be next Monday.
I love you, Rodney.
Papa, tell my mama I love her.
And I love you, and I will.
All right. Okay. So you're detained. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Listen, I feel for the kid. I feel for the kid. I tell you again, I work with kids. I work with special ed kids. That's my life. I understand this kid's pain. But there's certain things this kid has to do at a certain point that has to make some changes. He has a positive influence in his life. His grandfather is here at every single hearing. And yes, he's only 12. But I'm going to show you what he posted about a month ago. We haven't changed that much. I hope you're enjoying this. The Blast from the Past to Judge Kim on Sunday. We're going to go to another one, guys. The room's rocking. Let's have some fun. I see a lot of new people in here. Welcome. This community is great. You want to join the Discord, our moderators.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the supers. Let's get rocking and rolling. Let's do this. Judge Kim again. Let's go. We're gonna go.
All right, so I'm gonna turn this over to.
Let's do it to it.
You're here set for adjudication on this matter. The court will take notice that on August 18th, 2020, there was a petition regarding the child engaging in delinquent conduct, alleging in one paragraph that the child Rodney Moore, on or about April 6, 2020, in Tarrant County, Texas, recklessly caused serious bodily injury to Tyjae Jackson, a child under 15, by discharging a firearm and shooting Tyjae Jackson, or by handling a firearm in an unsafe manner and shooting Tyjae Jackson. It's also stated that a firearm is a deadly weapon as set forth in the Texas statutes. The child was served summons on October 23rd, 2020 regarding this case with a return date on the same date. Also present at this proceeding is Mr. Hopkins, the grandfather of the child. The mother was previously sworn in on this case and in case number 112666 as a witness and has failed to appear at any proceedings since then and is not present today. Mr. Spence, were we able to contact mom to give her notice of today?
Your Honor, I did text her all the Zoom links today, so she's aware of the hearing.
So she's aware of the hearing of Zoom, but she's not here. All right, so Mr. Moore.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and start. There's a deal that your attorney worked out with the district attorney's office. And so first I want to do is I want you, if you can, you and Mr. Hopkins, if you can both raise your right hands for me. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Sir, what were you saying? No, Rodney, what were you saying?
No, I said nothing but the truth. I said the same thing you said.
Okay, but you said that before I finished talking. Like, what were you asking me something while do you understand what I said?
No, I said nothing but the truth. That's all I said.
Okay, so let's start this over. Mr. Hopkins, if you raise your right hand. Each of you solemnly swear the testimony about to give at this cause currently a trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
All right, you may lower your hands. Mr. Moore, I'm going to ask you your full legal name.
Rodney Warren Moore the third,
Okay. And what is your date of birth?
9/27/08.
Are you an American citizen?
Yes.
So I want to let you know that you are looking at a felony level offense, which means that you could be committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for an indeterminate sentence. That means I could commit you and they could hold you up until your 18th birthday until they felt like you were rehabilitated. That means you could follow the rules, you could be respectful, that you would not be likely to reoffend and commit a new offense while you were juvenile. And that can be, you could be there for one day or you could be there all the way up until your 18th birthday. I want to let you know that if you do get committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department, that any of these proceedings in juvenile that you're committed for could be used against you in the adult criminal courts. I want to let you know you have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything at all. However, my understanding is your attorney has worked out a deal with a district attorney for that you to admit true of your delinquent conduct, that you actually committed the injury to a child, and that if you admit true, that you would get the benefit of an agreement, which is placement in a juvenile facility, and then receive probation after successful completion of your placement. Is that do you give up your right to remain silent to get that deal?
I'll go.
I'm sorry?
I will go. I'll go. Okay.
Oh, but do you give up that right?
No, I don't want to give. Well, I'll take the whatever. I don't
Tell you
know.
what, let me explain this again, okay? I understand you're only 12. So, Rodney, nobody can make you say anything, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Nobody can force you to admit to anything. There can be a trial, okay? But you are saying, what I understand, what I've been told, is that you're saying that you will give up your right to remain silent, that you'll admit to what you did, but if you admit to it, you're only admitting to it if you get the deal that your attorney got for you, which is placement and probation instead of TJJD. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you understand that you don't have to say that you did this, but you're giving up that right? You're saying you want to give up that right and admit to the injury to a child. Is that correct? Okay, so you give up your right to remain silent?
Yes.
That's a yes?
Yes, sir.
You also have a right to a trial. You don't have to go through this. You don't have to admit to this. We can have the district attorney provide all the evidence to me. I would listen to witnesses, see pictures, videos, body cams, anything. And I would decide whether or not you committed the injury to a child, the shooting the child. You need the district attorney to prove everything, or are you willing to admit that you did it so you don't have to have a trial?
I just want to get it over with, so I just take the placement and
Okay.
do everything.
But you have that right to a trial. I need to hear that you're giving up your right to a trial.
I'm giving up the right to a trial.
Okay. You also have a right, if you decide you don't like me, to have a jury hear the same evidence and they would make the decision about the injury to a child. So 12 people would sit in the courtroom. They would hear the same things I would hear, and they would make the decision whether or not there was a shooting of a baby. Are you giving up your right to have a jury make that decision?
Yeah, I'm giving up the right. Yes, sir.
Okay. You also have a right to appeal. However, if I follow this agreement, you are giving up your right to appeal, that this will be final. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And do you give up your right to appeal if I follow this deal?
Yes, sir.
You also have a right to confrontation. That means any witness that comes and testifies against you, you have the right to look them in the eye as they're testifying, and your attorney can ask them questions and cross-examine them. You understand? So we're not going to have any witnesses today. Are you giving up your right to confrontation?
I'm giving up the right.
Okay, thank you. Now, Rodney, I need to let you know I do not have to follow this deal. Okay? But if I don't follow this deal, then I will let you withdraw your plea of true and go back, and you would have all your rights restored. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Hopkins, I previously swore you in. Could you identify yourself?
Yes, Mark Hopkins, grandfather to Rodney Warren Moore III.
Great, thank you. Are you the one that's had kind of care or providing for him?
Yes, I am, sir.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Barrows, is there any reason why your client will not understand the proceedings today?
No, Your Honor.
Is he fit to proceed?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Moore, you are here today because the state of Texas filed a petition alleging that you were delinquent. That means you violated one of our criminal laws. However, since you were under the age of 17, you were not in a criminal court, but you were in a juvenile court. They're saying on or about April 6, 2020 in Tarrant County, Texas, you recklessly caused bodily injury to Tyjae Jackson, who was under 15 years old, by firing a gun and shooting Tyjae Jackson, or by handling a gun in an unsafe manner and shooting Tyjae Jackson, and that a firearm is a deadly weapon, and that you knew a firearm was a deadly weapon. You understand what they're saying that you did?
Yes, sir.
Stay waive opening.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will take judicial notice of a stipulation of evidence, judicial confession, and disposition agreement that is filed with this court. Also filed contemporaneously was a 3914 manifest, and filed with the court under seal is a social history. The court has not viewed the social history at this point. It complies with the Texas Family Code. Are there any exhibits or witnesses from the state?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Moore, do you understand what a stipulation is? Okay, I don't expect you to. A stipulation is it's a fancy legal word, and it means an agreement. But it's an agreement that's set in stone. You can never go back and undo a stipulation. You understand? So whatever's in this document that I have here, if you're telling me that you agree to this, what you're saying is that for the rest of your life, you can never go back and take it back. Okay? So here's an example. Let's take your grandpa on Zoom here. Okay, so your grandpa, if I was to say he was wearing a light colored shirt, okay, is that something you'd agree to?
Yeah,
Or let's say your grandpa wears glasses. He's wearing glasses. Is that something that you could agree to?
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand if we stipulate to this, 30 years from now, we can never go back and argue about what color his glasses were today. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's set. Now, if I was to say that your grandpa was bald, is that something you could agree with?
No.
So we would not stipulate this because if we did stipulate, we could never argue that he was bald and that would be incorrect. So you understand it's a very important agreement. You understand what I'm saying so far? Roddy, I need a yes or a no.
Oh, yes.
So I have a stipulation here, and what they're saying is that your grandpa is saying that he lives on Maybach Lane,
Hey.
right, which is in Tarrant County, and that he is the one that has custody and control over you. Your birthday is September 27th, 2008, and that you're waiving your rights that I explained to you earlier, and that on or about April 6, 2020, that you shot Tyjae Jackson, who's a child under 15, by discharging a firearm and shooting him or handling a firearm in an unsafe manner, and that a firearm is a deadly weapon. And that this is a second-degree felony, which means you could be committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department for an indeterminate sentence. And that you agree that you need disposition on your case, and that you need probation, and that you also agree that you should be placed at the Grayson County facility in Sherman, Texas, and any other conditions that I order as the judge. Okay, do you understand what I've said?
Yes, sir.
Is that your agreement?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm gonna ask is, everything that I said, is it true or is it not true?
It's true.
Okay. So is the enhancement that so it's true that you shot Tyjae Jackson, who was a child. Is that correct?
Yeah, I had the gun recklessly. Yeah, basically, yes.
What's basically?
Well, yes.
Okay. Is it true or not true that a firearm is a deadly weapon?
Yeah, that's true.
So did anybody make you say true?
No.
Did anybody induce you to say true? That means did anybody offer you like a bribe to say true?
No.
Did anybody threaten you to say true?
No.
Are you saying true voluntarily?
Yeah.
That's a yes?
Yes.
What does voluntary mean to you?
Like, you just doing it to, like, say I volunteered to go help the people and not get paid for it. Like, yeah, like that.
Okay. So you did that without anybody making you or
Yes.
paying you, right? That's a yes?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like there's any consequence if you don't say true? Like somebody would hurt you if you don't say true?
Mhm.
Are you taking the case for somebody else?
No.
Okay. Are you taking the case to protect somebody else?
No.
So are you saying true because it is true and for no other reason?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
So, Rodney Morton, I have some questions for you. Texas Family Code 54.0406 requires a child, when he is adjudicated an offense with a handgun, to notify the court how he obtained the handgun. Okay, so where did this gun come from?
I found it.
I'm sorry?
I found it.
You found, where did you find it?
I found it when I was walking in some bushes.
Where were the bushes?
It was in South Seas.
Where were the bushes? What street was it on?
Era.
I'm sorry?
Era.
Better and where?
Calumet.
Okay. How long have you had that gun?
I only had it for like 3 days.
For 3 days? That's a yes?
Yes, sir.
Who else was there when the baby was shot?
My her son, was some like my brother, but like it's my friend. So like her son and her daughters.
How old are they?
her son 15, I think one like 13. I mean, her daughter's like 13, 12, and 10, 11.
Okay, does she know you had the gun?
No,
You weren't doing anything, you weren't displaying the gun with other people in the house that saw it?
I was, but she was asleep.
I'm sorry?
She was asleep.
She was asleep. Okay, so you understand, you're saying you found the gun, and if the police trace the gun and it was stolen, and it comes back to the person saying they gave it to you, you understand that would be enough for you to revoke your probation because you weren't truthful with me, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, so that the whole deal is off. Like, we can get the deal today, but if the truth comes out that somebody actually gave you the gun, then you would lose all your probation, and I would be able to revoke your probation and send you to TJJD.
Thank
It's
you.
important that you're telling the truth right now, Rodney.
I'm telling the truth.
Okay. So what about the other guns you have on the videos? Where do those guns come from?
Somebody gave me.
Who gave it to you?
He go by
I need his real name, Rodney.
I don't know his real name. I swear it go by DJ. It's
Rodney.
I swear, Judge Kim, it go by DJ.
Rodney, you swore an oath to tell me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay. So this is the process. I'm requiring a full confession from you from this. So if you want to undo this deal and lose a chance at getting the placement and probation, then you have that right. But you gave up your right to remain silent. You said you would tell me everything. And so I need to know all the information. That's part of the deal for you to get probation. Okay, so either at this point, you can decide that you want to protect people. Remember when I told you at a detention hearing, if you want to make grown man decisions, you'll get grown man consequences. If you want to be a kid, a 12-year-old kid, I'll treat you like a 12-year-old kid. So if you want to be like a 12-year-old kid and just come clean and explain what's going, because you are a child, I will treat you like a child, send you to placement, probation, give you chance after chance. But if you want to try and play an adult game and protect people and hide things from me, then you're not acting like a 12-year-old. You're trying to act like a grown man, and I will treat you like a grown man. Okay, so take this decision very carefully right now, Rodney. All right? If you want to undo this deal, then you can lie to me. But if you want the deal, you have to be truthful with me. All right? So where did the guns come from that were on the videos?
This dude named Donald Smith.
Okay, can you say that again?
Donald Smith.
Okay. Is he a juvenile or an adult?
He adult.
He's an adult? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. What about the other guns? Where did they come from?
Same person.
So how many guns in total did he give you?
Like 4.
So he gave you all those guns?
Yes, sir.
Rodney?
I'm not lying. I put my right into the man.
Okay. Remember, Rodney, you put your hand up before detention hearings when you lied to me, right? I just want the full truth so I can give you the benefit of this. But you got to be 12, okay? If you want to start acting like a 20-year-old, I'm going to treat you like a 20-year-old, okay? What about the weed? Where do you get the weed from?
This dude named Jackson. What's his last name? It's something like, I don't know his last name.
Snitching.
I swear, I don't know his last name.
What's his street name?
JB.
Say that again?
JB.
JB, okay. Mr. Hopkins, do you know either of these people?
So now, this video actually got a lot of scrutiny. It actually made the news because he is a actual member of the Crips, and there's actual video of him starting gang wars in the juvenile detention center in Kimbo, and he was snitching on actual people, and there were threats on his life after this video.
No, sir.
Okay. Is JB an adult or a juvenile?
He a juvenile.
And you understand, Rodney, that if I honor this deal and put you on probation, that one of the conditions will be you will not be on any kind of social media while you're on probation, right?
Yes, sir.
You understand how serious I am about that, right?
Yes, sir, because I seen how you brought me back in quick.
You were out for less than 24 hours because you couldn't stay off of Instagram, right? Like, are you willing to say I'm done with social media as long as I'm on probation?
I'm done with social media as long as I'm on probation.
And you understand you're done with weed and rapping as long as you're on probation, right?
Yes.
I know evidently people think you have talent, okay? And that's great. I'm glad you do. But what I see is that is a culture that's dragging you down. I see your friends all around you picking up cases. I see your friends getting shot and dying. So it's my responsibility overseeing your probation to keep you out of that environment. You understand?
Yes, sir.
This is part of you being on probation and part of the consequences of your decision of being reckless with that gun, where now you will have to pause your rap career until you are older. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're okay with that, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you understand you can't make videos from TJJD, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's the option. If you go to TJJD, you're not making videos. If you're on probation, you're not making videos. Either way, you're not. If you're akimbo, you're not making videos. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you understand, even if you're out with friends and you're not even on Instagram Live, but they start going Instagram Live, you understand you can't appear on that, right?
I can't get on it.
You have to walk away from that. If you're at the mall and somebody's harassing you and they start recording, you understand that if you're not trying to be on there and you're just walking away, I'm okay with that, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
But if you start to engage them knowing that he's recording you, you know you got to walk away, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, the police and our probation department watch all over social media and your name pops up. What happens?
They send it to you.
Send you to me. All right, so at the time this 1-year-old was shot, did anybody else handle that gun, or was it just you?
It was just, well,
It's just, Rodney, as long as you're honest with me, you get this deal. If you lie to me, you lose the deal, right? So you got to be straight up with me right now. This is the time just to come clean with everything, because what you don't want is later on, I find out that you lied to me, and then I go back and revoke your probation because I found out you lied to me during this hearing.
yes, sir.
Okay? So at the time that baby was shot, are you the only one that handled the gun, or did
At the time, yes.
on the night the baby was shot? So the other kids that were there with you, they didn't touch the gun at all.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, her son did.
Her son did? Okay, and there's nothing, he's not in trouble for this. I just want you to come clean, okay? What about her daughter? Did daughter touch the gun?
Never touched that gun.
And this is the time to come clean, because I don't want this to come back to you later. You were telling me you found the gun, that nobody gave you that gun?
Nope, not that gun. Nobody gave me that gun.
Okay. And Rodney, I'm telling you this, I'm asking you again, because later on, if it comes back different, I'm going to be upset. You can right now change your story, and I'm okay with that because I want you to come clean.
I'm telling nothing but the truth.
Okay. So that's the gun. You're saying that gun that shot the baby you had found.
Yes, sir.
This poor kid.
All right, stay away closing.
Yes, Your Honor, may I quickly add something?
You may.
This child is under 14. I don't know if the court wants to make a finding under 5408. I noticed that we're broadcasting live on YouTube.
Yes, I previously made a finding, this child in general, that the interests of the public outweigh and are better served, and the interests of the child are better served by keeping this open to the public instead of closing it. But I will make the affirmative finding again under under 5408C, that the interests of the child and the interests of the public are better served by opening this hearing to the public. So,
Thank you, Your Honor. No closing from the state.
thank you. Ms. Barrows, any closing?
No, Your Honor.
So based on the competent evidence from this hearing, the court will make a finding of delinquency. Specifically, the allegations in the petition in paragraph 1 were established by the evidence. Furthermore, the court will also make an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon was used. That will conclude adjudication in this matter. Now, the court will call cause number 323-114349-20. This is dialed the matter of Rodney Warren Moore III. The court, having previously adjudicated this child as delinquent, is now here on disposition. Ms. Farmer, do you waive opening?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any exhibits from the state?
Then, Your Honor, the court has previously taken judicial notice of the social history, and that is the only exhibit we have.
All right. Is there an allocution in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Barrows, any witnesses or exhibits from the respondent?
No, Your Honor.
Closings or waive?
Your Honor, if we would like to call some witnesses.
Oh, you do like to call some witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I just waived my opening statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. All right, Ms. Farmer, please call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Mr. Mike Spence.
Mr. Spence, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently at trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Oh, no, you're not anymore. Did you say yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Farmer, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Spence, can you please introduce yourself to the court and tell us how you're presently employed?
My name is Mike Spence. I am a probation officer with the Family Partnership Unit.
And are you assigned to the case of the respondent in this case, Rodney Warren Moore III?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been the assigned probation officer?
Since approximately March.
And did you help prepare the social history that was previously admitted by the court?
Yes, I did.
And are you aware if a resource staffing was done in this case?
Yes, there was.
And what was the recommendation of that resource staffing?
That there be a placement search be conducted.
And was a placement found?
Yes.
And what's the name of the placement?
Grayson County.
And what is your recommendation on this case?
That Rodney go to Grayson County and complete their program.
Do you think it would be in the respondent's best interest to be placed outside of his home?
Yes.
And do you think that reasonable efforts have been made to prevent or eliminate the removal of Rodney from his home?
Yes.
And is it your opinion that the child in his home cannot be provided the quality of care and level of support that he would need to be successful to complete a probation term?
Yes.
And do you believe that Mr. Moore has behavioral health or special needs that can't be met with the resources in the community?
Yes.
Could you just briefly tell us what services have been offered to Mr. Moore?
He's been our family partnership program. He had an MHMR therapist that was assigned to him that met with him and counseled with him. He's also received services through TCAP for a short thing, and he's been on electronic monitor.
And is he currently on probation for another offense?
Yes.
What offense is that?
Arson.
And how long was he on that probation before he committed this new offense?
Only a couple of months.
I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Barrows?
Mr. Spence, what level is Rodney currently on in detention?
On level 1 outstanding.
And he has the family support of his grandfather, is that correct?
Yes.
And he has the opportunity to be successful on probation if services are still offered to him, is that correct?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Ms. Farmer, redirect.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Please call your next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Mr. Jason Jarman.
Mr. Jarman, you raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give at this cause currently at trial that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes,
All right. Please proceed, Ms. Farmer.
Thank you. Mr. Jarman, how are you presently employed?
as a juvenile probation officer with Tarrant County Juvenile Service Placement Unit.
And were you assigned to the case of the respondent, Rodney Warrenmore III?
Yes,
And could you please tell us about the placement that has accepted Rodney? What services are offered there?
so Grayson County is a locked facility in Sherman, Texas. It's 180, he was accepted to the 180-day program. He will have a case manager and therapist. He will follow a strict set of rules. He is expected to, one, participate in all activities where he will gain a certain number of points. If you don't gain the required number of points, it can extend his stay a little bit longer than that.
Do you know what the maximum length of stay could be in Grayson County?
I know it could go up to at least a year or possibly longer.
And how soon would Mr. Moore be able to get transferred to Grayson County?
I just spoke with the admissions coordinator, and she said that he would not be able to do an admissions until after January 4th.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Barrows, cross.
So as of January 4th is any time after that, Rodney could be transported to Grayson, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's what.
Ms. Farmer, redirect.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Please call your next witness.
No more witnesses from the state, Your Honor. We rest.
Ms. Barrows, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Closings are waived? Oh, I'm sorry. No, at this point, closings are waived.
Briefly, Your Honor, we would just ask the court to review the social history that's been previously admitted. The state did not want to waste the court's time with diving into questions. That's obviously already been admitted, and you can take a look at that, but we would ask the court to review that before making a final decision on disposition.
He hasn't even addressed the motion to modify. He's truly just leaving them hanging.
I'm sorry, Mr. Spence?
I'm sorry.
Did you say something?
We're going, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, Ms. Barrows, closing?
No, Your Honor, we, as far as the stipulation that's been provided to the court, I would ask that you take the stipulation into account, and Rodney is wanting to be placed at Grayson County as soon as possible, and is wanting to and will need to be detained until Grayson County can transport him.
So I am going to have an update. I'm going to show you because this last part is hysterical when Judge Kim tells him what he has to do. And then I'm going to show a update video. It's a timeline for those of you that there's gaps in the story, and also I got an interview of someone close to this case that contradicts everything about what we've just watched. So it's a very interesting, it's about 8 minutes long, and it's actually from 3 weeks ago from someone I subscribe to. It's a good channel. So I'll play that right after this.
The court Having considered all the competent evidence and reviewing the social history, will find a needed rehabilitation and that protection of the public as well as the child requires disposition to be made. The court will honor the stipulation. The court will place the child on probation. However, Mr. Moore, let me explain this to you. Back on March of this year, you appeared before me and pled true to the arson case. I placed you on probation until your, would have been 15th birthday. However, obviously that wasn't enough to supervise you, so I am placing you on probation up until your 17th birthday, right, which is September 27th, 2025 on this case. Furthermore, I'm going to follow the agreement and order your placement at Grayson County in Denison, Texas. I'm making no social media as one of the conditions of your probation. I'm also ordering, so that is 5 years, 200 hours of community service for you. And for your mother, who refuses to appear, I think she is part of the problem. You know, your mother, I mean, she's asking to have phone calls with you, but if she doesn't appear for these detention hearings, doesn't appear on Zoom, like she has done nothing for you, okay? And so I'm not going to let her make phone calls when she doesn't have the respect for me or the care or love for you to actually come in Zoom and just log in from her phone. That's all she has to do. That is a minimum effort. She's not even doing that. So I am denying her. I've ordered detention not to let you have phone calls. If she wants to show respect, come here either in person or even remotely through Zoom or through her phone to these hearings, then I would let her have phone calls with you. But she doesn't care enough about you to take the time to dial in. I'm not going to let her have phone calls. Mr. Moore, you probably don't want to talk to me, but if you really do, this is your chance.
I'm gonna lie, my papa, like, he was talking to her, and she was like, she don't want to get on her because she's scared you, like, you want to down talk her every time.
That I am? Well, she deserves it when I do. That's the thing, Rodney, that's the thing, right? The times that you've been straight up with me and been respectful to me, I've always been respectful back to you, right? The times I've talked down to you is when you've been lying to me, you've been disrespecting me. If you think about it, I will always give you a chance. Right now, you're on probation. I want to start new and give you a new start, and we'll go back, and I want to show you respect and give you courtesy, right, and give you every opportunity. I do not want to send you to TJJD, but I will. You know, Judge Kim has no problem sending kids to TJJD, but if you're trying to do the right thing, then I'll give you every chance that you want. Okay? So I'm ordering your mother under the Texas Family Code to perform community service in the amount of 1,250 hours. That's 250 hours per year that you are on probation, right? If your mother fails to do that, then she could be found in contempt of court for not following the court's order regarding her community service requirements under the Texas Family Code. Ms. Farmer, there was no restitution mentioned in the social history. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. We would ask the court at this time to make it a condition of his probation that he have no contact with the victim, Tyjae Jackson, his mother, Jennifer White, or any of the siblings, Latoria Osborne, Osbin Osborne, China Osborne, April Osborne, Nevaeh Osborne, Aubriana Osborne, London White.
I'm assuming you can get that list, Mr. Spence.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes, the court will order no contact also with the Donald character that was previously mentioned. Mr. Spence, I hope you can get that name. I'm also going to order, until probation is modified, to have no contact with his mother, Marquita. Papa, what's your daughter's last name?
Crosby, Your Honor.
Crosby, yes, Marquita Crosby. Rodney, you are to have no contact with Marquita Crosby until I change that. And I am willing to change that as soon as she communicates to the court and explains why she's doing what she's doing. But until she can do that, then she is going to be a negative influence on your life. Rodney, I hope what you get out of this is you understand that I'm trying to reset your life and help you start over. Okay? you know, your music, I understand that's your passion, that's your talent. I get that. What you have to understand is music is entertainment. It's not a lifestyle. When you look at the people that are successful in entertainment, right, they're not living the life that they're talking or singing or acting about in movies, right? It's an act. It's marketing. It's a game. Don't live the lifestyle. That is your problem, is you're starting to now live that lifestyle. All right, so specifically, the reason for this disposition is the protection of the public as well as the rehabilitation of the child. Mr. Moore, I need to let you know your case cannot be transferred to the adult criminal courts or the Texas Department of Corrections. Because I followed this agreement, you do not have a right to appeal. This will be final. Furthermore, the court will make an affirmative finding that the victim was under 17 years old, and that shall be included in the final order by this court. Mr. Moore, going forward, just do right. Do right, and you understand. I'll go out and buy you a hamburger. You understand? I don't dislike you. I dislike you lying to me. I dislike you thinking that you're smarter than me or playing me, because that's not going to work. The more you fight the system, the harder it gets. But the more you go along by the rules and do what you're supposed to do, then there are all kinds of kids that actually come back and thank me, because it's actually a good thing that they came through here. So Rodney, do you have a question for me?
Yeah. But I ain't even gonna lie. You kind of making me more stressed out.
I don't understand. What did you say?
You making me kind of more stressed out.
Okay. How am I causing you to be more stressed out?
Because I can't see my mom.
Okay. So this is what you have to understand, Rodney, is there are grown-ups in your life that will give you bad news. Things like they'll give you disappointment. Your papa will do that. I'll do that. Right? That is what grown-ups are supposed to do around kids. When you're a child, you're supposed to be disappointed. That's part of life. And you have to, at a certain point, understand that we know more than you. Okay? We can see that your mom is not helping your situation. She is making your life worse. And until she can get her act together, then she doesn't need to be around you. Okay? Once she gets her act together, I want you to have a strong bonding relationship with your mother. But you know, she's out there bragging about you, right? Like bragging about, well, she's not bragging about you, she's bragging about herself. She is trying to make herself look better and be less embarrassed by the public, and it's all a front. What the public doesn't understand is she has done so little to be there for you throughout this whole court case or all your cases, but she's out there talking about how she's always provided for you, always cared for you, always done everything for you. It's not her, it's your papa. But yet, I've seen when your mom appeared in these detention hearings, you're talking about your mom, how much you love her, how much you miss her, and you know who gets ignored? The one man who's been there every day for you since you were born. I wish you would give him 1/2 the love. And you know, he'd probably be happy with 1/4 of the affection you give your mom, but you don't even give him that. All you're doing is you're trying to get attention and affection from your mom who does nothing for you. And these are very real words, and they're very, very harsh words, but somebody has to tell you this, and nobody will tell you this. So it's left up to me. A kid's supposed to have a great relationship with their mom. But you know what? Your mom's still a kid too when she had you, and she's kind of still a kid now. She just doesn't get it. She has to do right. You have to do right. What I hope is that you put this behind you and say, I made some mistakes. I moved up in my life, and I'm going to do right. Because there's a man I know who made some mistakes when he was younger, ended up doing some time, got out, and living his life right. And he is a great example for people all across this county, the state, and this country. And that man is your papa, right? You need to respect him for the fact that he made some poor decisions, he learned from it, and he's living the right way. Because that's the example. That's what you need to follow. You need to follow his lead. Yes, Mr. Moore.
So look, I got to do community service.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. Every kid on probation does 40 hours a year. That's nothing.
What is that?
That means you go and you work for free. That means you're showing me that you harm the community by doing all this. So now you've got to provide hours to help our community. It may be picking up trash, it may be cleaning toilets, it may be, I
You
don't
said
know.
200 minutes.
I'm sorry?
200 minutes.
40 hours a year, 200 hours over 5 years.
So
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes, community service, Rodney, is something like working at the soup kitchen or the homeless shelter or helping people that are less fortunate than us. That type of thing. It's simple, it's easy. We can find plenty of places for you to do your community service.
As long as you show up with an attitude that you're not going to be a jerk to them, then you'll be fine. If you go there and say, I'm not going to do this, I'm too good for that. I did community service once. I got a ticket for no seatbelt a long time ago, and I didn't have money to pay for it, so the judge made me clean horse stables for Fort Worth Mounted Patrol. I had to shovel horse poop for a week. That's the way it goes. All right, Rodney, do you have any other questions for me?
so
Look, live your life straight while you're on probation. When you're done with probation, get back into music, but understand the ones that live the lifestyle that they're rapping about are the ones that get shot or in prison. The ones that understand there's a difference, that they have their music, they have their entertainment, but then their lifestyle is actually living straight. Those are the ones that make the money. Yes, sir.
So if I do good down there, I can get at 6 months.
Say that again.
If I do good down there, I can get at 6 months.
Oh, the placement? Yeah, if you do everything right, you'll get on placement, then you'll go back to probation. Okay?
I'm
I'm not going to let you out between now and placement because there's a quarantine period. And so once the bed's open, you would have to be in our facility for 2 weeks before they take you. So I'm leaving you in here, and that way you don't have to re-quarantine. That way you get out of Grayson sooner. Okay?
So look,
The
you
snorting.
can count the
That's a
days
new
when
thing he picked up.
if I do
At
good.
placement, I cannot cut the days of placement. That's up to
No,
them.
not cut the days. I said count.
I can count the days?
Yeah.
Well, no, Rodney, because you've let me down before. Right? I mean, how many times have you done this? I swear, Judge Kim, on my mama's name. Right? And so I don't know. Go to Grayson, do right, you get out in 6 months. You do poorly, you stay there for a year.
So that's like June.
Well, don't count the days because you haven't shown me you can do right yet. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes? That's a yes? We'll sit here and wait, Mr. Moore, until I get a yes.
Yes. I said yes.
You said, yeah, I need a yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Barrows, Mr. Moore, sit down. Mr. Moore, sit down.
Okay.
This is not over until I say it's over.
My
Ms.
bad.
Barrows, have I missed anything? No? Okay. Let the record reflect she's shaking her head on Zoom. Ms. Farmer, have I missed anything?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so that will be the order of the court. Thank you.
So I ain't gonna have no detention? No.
No, you'll have detention hearings every 10 days while you're here, Mr. Moore.
He has one today, sir. That's what he's asking.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you.
Judge, may we be excused?
Yes, thank you, everyone. Mr. Hopkins?
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut to the I'm gonna give you the timeline and wrap up what exactly went on, and an update on him now. I see a lot of questions in the comments, so I'll just give you this last video and wrap everything up, and then I will be premiering with KFAR. Go check out his channel. I know my moderators have been dropping. Gonna do some soft sit stuff. All right, so hold on 1 second. I'll pull it up for you.
Keep up the good work. Hold your head high.
Texas, was a man by the name of Channel 5 J-Dub.
All right, Susan.
Little Rodney, who also goes by the nickname 30 Shots, is from Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth doesn't get that much notoriety, but the gang violence in that city is deep and it's full of Bloods and Crips. Rodney is from the east side of the city, more specifically the area known as Stop 6, and is a Crip. He's a part of a set called Ape Gang. Ape Gang consists of both Bloods and Crips. In Fort Worth, the beef is mostly based on your set and not your bigger gang affiliation. Ape Gang's biggest ops are a set called YTN Murder Gang, and they're from the south side. Most of the people in Murder Gang are Crips. Little Rodney had a turbulent upbringing growing up. His mother had him when she was just 16 years old, and his father abandoned them. Rodney's mother got incarcerated a couple times while he was a toddler, and his brother got incarcerated as well. His grandfather was the main male role model he had in his life, and he was raised by a single mother. His mother was always supportive of him and made sure to spoil him. Little Rodney jumped into the streets at a super young age. At just 12 years old, he was already toting Glocks and high-powered assault rifles. Eventually, Rodney would find himself dealing with legal trouble and beef throughout the city. Despite his young age, Little Rodney is involved in heavy beef throughout the city. As I mentioned earlier, Little Rodney is from the east side of the city, and a majority of the rappers from the east side were once cool with each other. That all changed once a rapper from the east side by the name of Channel 5 J-Dub snatched the chain of another east side rapper by the name of Little CJ Casino. This incident drove a rift between the whole east side. Prior to the drama between J-Dub and CJ Casino, Little Rodney would start beefing with another east side rapper by the name of NCG Kenny B. Their beef would lead to Kenny B pressing Little Rodney in the middle of the mall. Kenny B was 21 at the time, and Little Rodney was only 12.
Little Rodney, he just be talking. Y'all look, y'all want me to give him a wedgie or not? On God, I'll give him a wedgie right now on Jesus. I won't. Look, he finna run. On God. Walking with the Baby Savage, bro. Baby Savage, you looking for me and PMG, ain't it? Come back. Why you come back? Why you come back? Why you come back? I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy.
Another rapper in the city that Little Rodney has beef with is PMG God. PMG God and Little Rodney would go back and forth dissing each other on social media. One day, PMG God would post a video of himself sitting in a car with Little Rodney's mom, and he would then go on to claim that he smashed her in a song. In a later interview, Rodney would claim that PMG God was lying, and the only reason he was around his mom is because he was friends with Little Rodney's mom's boyfriend at the time. In 2019, Little Rodney was arrested and charged with shooting a 1-year-old baby. This crazy charge would cause him to go viral and be demonized online. However, notable Fort Worth online personality Charleston White and other people close to Little Rodney claimed that he wasn't actually the one that shot the baby. They believe that people affiliated with Little Rodney were sliding on ops and accidentally shot the baby. It's rumored that Little Rodney just took the charge for them and refused to snitch.
A kid was shot.
Yeah, 1-year-old baby was shot.
Okay, and survived.
Yeah, survived.
And he was in the area.
He was in the apartment, yeah.
Okay, and he got sentenced for that because he didn't talk?
He didn't talk, the little stayed down. Oh. I was the first one publicly to say that kid didn't do that shooting, homie.
Despite people as well known as Charleston White claiming this theory in interviews, it has never been officially confirmed. Regardless, Rodney would get locked up for this, and while he was locked up, he would suffer a tragic loss. One of the most well-known rappers in Fort Worth, Texas, was a man by the name of Channel 5 J-Dub, real name Javian Calvin. J-Dub was rising in popularity and was ringing bells throughout the city with all of the diss records he was putting out. As I mentioned earlier in the vid, J-Dub caused a rift in the city by snatching another rapper's chain, so it was well known that he was wild in the streets. Ultimately, J-Dub's wild behavior would lead to a sad ending. On February 24th, 2020, J-Dub was found in the front yard of a home on the city's southeast side at around 6:30 a.m. with a gunshot wound to the head. He would tragically be pronounced dead at the scene at just 17 years old. The crazy thing about it is that J-Dub's own friend would be charged with his murder. It is believed that J-Dub and other members of his crew were shooting up a house when one of his accomplices by the name of David Garcia accidentally shot him in the head. While in jail, Little Rodney would learn about J-Dub's death, and this would devastate him. In an interview, Rodney stated that he didn't leave his cell for 2 whole days after he heard the news. Eventually, Little Rodney would be let out on house arrest while he waited for his trial. He was placed on an ankle monitor and was unable to leave the house without special permission. Eventually, the day of J-Dub's funeral would come up. J-Dub and Rodney had a close relationship, so Rodney was desperate to go. Officers would deny Rodney permission to attend the funeral, so Rodney would cut his ankle monitor off and go on the run so he could attend. While on the run, Rodney would post videos of himself toting guns online, and he would diss the judge. Eventually, Rodney would get locked back up and have a hearing with the judge. During the hearing, the judge went off on him and the clip went viral.
Just that I'm tired of, like, every time you come in here, you cry. You know that, right? Like, every single time you come in here, you cry.
Thank you.
And every single time you beg me for one more chance, because you swear to God, on my mama's name, I'm not going to cut off the monitor. I'm not going to run off. Like, every single time.
Ultimately, Rodney would be sentenced to 7 years in juvenile prison for the shooting that injured the 1-year-old baby. Rodney was 12 years old at the time of his sentencing, so he wouldn't have been released until he was 19 years old. After protests, Rodney's sentence was reduced to just 2 years. After serving the 2 years in prison, Rodney would be released, but would then be arrested once again for violating the terms of his release by going on Instagram Live. One of the terms of his release was that he was not allowed on social media. Due to this violation, Rodney would have to serve an extra year in prison, but he has recently been released in the past month. Little Rodney is currently free and is trying to take his rap career seriously and become the next rapper to blow up from his city. It's crazy to see someone so young have such a crazy upbringing and already have lived such a wild life at such a young age. Let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comment section, and please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. That was Funa. You want to go give him a like, subscribe to his channel. He has a lot of little documentaries on stuff. He does a lot of court stuff too. Nothing like this, but it was good because he wrapped up the case for us instead of listening to my stupid voice for another 15-20 minutes. All right, that'll do it, guys. The room was pumping. This channel is growing. The words can't even explain how crazy it's been, this ride. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all of you. And I'm going to hop on with KFAR. That is KFARR. And we're going to be doing some Sov sits. He has some classics. He's like very popular in the Sov sit world, and I'm trying to branch out and get into there. So I kind of like this little sandwich we got going with Credence and Bishop. Time served. KFAR. Maybe a preview of things to come. Who knows? Don't know. But big things are happening on LawTube. That's all I have to say. So, guys, I appreciate everything. Hop on over. I'll be a special guest. Happy Sunday. Thank you. I hope you all love Judge Kim on Sunday. I know I did. A blast from the past. See you later, guys. You have been served.